Hey everyone, this is Alexander at All Security Equipment, and today we have a special guest, Scott Fleege, the National Sales Manager for BFT, a brand from Italy that we love at All Security Equipment. And we're gonna talk about the Phobos kit, that we have a special kit made for All Security Equipment. And later on, we'll talk about the Demos, which is the slide gate operator with rack and pinion. Scott, welcome.
Alex, thank you for having me.
So one of the things that I'm always curious is why BFT and what makes the Phobos such a great machine?
That's a great loaded question, Alex. I'm glad you asked. So BFT, Italian-made brand. The Phobos in particular has been in the market for 30 plus years with different variations. And today we're going to talk about the latest update from about a year ago, the Phobos BTB40. BFT overall, we pride ourselves on having sleek, compact automation systems designed to be hidden behind the gates. And that's what makes this motor special, is you can mount it low to the ground, really at any height on the gate to hide it. So the main focus is the gate itself.
But you still made a pretty cool looking operator. So on top of wanting to be hidden, it still looks good, because I really like it. It's like a super nice aluminum profile, so which is makes it great also for harsher environments.
Yes.
Because we all know, being in Florida, aluminum is the metal of choice for here. And I know in some places people like also stainless steel.
Correct.
But that would be, a very different machine and
Yes.
weight-wise. So what I would like to know is a big part of an operator is the installation. How easy it is to install, what makes BFT a good operator to install and easy to install?
First and foremost important question when it comes to gate automation is having the right geometry from the post and the gate bracket. BFT, we have our own app called BFT Easy Set. I would highly recommend any installer to download that. It will do the calculations for you to get that perfect 90-degree opening and closing.
Oh, perfect. So we'll put the link, you'll see the link in the product page.
Yes. The other thing is we have brackets that are used. You can either bolt or weld on to the post, and then you'll get your gate bracket as well that can be welded on.
And so this is to install, so this is to have it here. So basically with this, right?
Yep.
And then you can adjust it perfectly.
You can adjust it.
And then really what's nice is, again, you can bolt it, weld it, so that makes it, if you want to do a lot of work or a little work, you have the option, both work. But you told me, off camera that it was good also if we do like a bolt through, right?
Yes, you can also do the bolt through.
You want to make sure that it's really nice and tight. All right, so that's one really good thing, because we know that the biggest time suck when you're doing an installation is the welding, because you have to grind, weld, grind again, make sure everything is smooth and repaint, so you can spend like a whole afternoon basically welding a gate bracket.
Yes.
So that's a really good thing. I like that. So, and then you were telling me that one of the biggest innovation that you guys changed for this year's model is the limits.
Yes, so the Phobos itself is a residential electromechanical swing gate operator. So it's rated for gates as small as 6 feet, 1,500 pounds, and up to 15 feet, 500 pounds. So it has a sliding scale, so it can meet a lot of demands for a wide variety of gates out there in the market. And how it works is in the motor, you'll see a screw drive, and this shaft will just travel back and forth. But the latest innovation is the limits have been moved from the bottom of the gate operator to the top. So when you get the motor, this cap just screws right off, and this top piece will slide off. And now you'll see you will have your open and close limits. And these limits are adjustable. So if power goes out, they're always going to be set.
So that's a really good thing. It's like physical limits. Once they are set, they are set.
Yep, and when this is traveling along, as soon as it touches the top part of the magnet, it automatically stops.
And so one of the cool things that you were telling me also before is that because of this new design, it allows you to put it as low as you want to the ground, and then, make sure that the gate is the main focus rather than like the arm in the middle of the gate, basically.
Correct. We love automation, but we also don't want to be seen. Our job is to just make things move.
Automation, the point is like, it works by magic.
Yes. Now, another thing I just want to point out, if power goes out or you ever need to manual release the gate, there is a key on the back of the motor. You simply put the key inside, twist, and then the homeowner, installer, you can simply open and close the gate that way
Manually.
as well. Yep.
Very cool. And then the key is here, but it's just tied for shipping purposes. That's the arm, which is pretty cool. So we talked about the brackets, limit switch, cool aluminum casing, which I personally think is really important because, I don't want to see my operator start rusting or anything like that. And this should not happen because it's plastic and aluminum. So another thing is that I like about the BFT is like it's a true backup machine, because we know some other brands are more like a battery run machine, which means that if the battery goes bad, your operator is done. It's done. You need to change the battery to make it run again. Whereas BFT, it can run with or without batteries.
Yes.
And then the battery backup. So it's another control. It's another box. So you would have two boxes to install. But the cool thing is that this is a separated box. And then you told me that this is about 50 cycles on battery only.
Correct.
So, unless you open the gate, 10 times a day,
Right.
I think that should last a pretty long time. So you should be fine in case of a power outage. 50 cycles is, probably like at least 2 weeks.
Correct. And by that point, hopefully power is back
hopefully. So that's really cool. And then, so now we're going to talk about like really the control board.
Yep.
And tell me a little bit more about like, first, how easy it is to set up.
Yep.
And then what are the cool thing about BFT as a brand when it comes to boards?
Yep. So in my opinion, this is one of the biggest differentiators out there on the market. BFT, no matter what product you use, once you learn the board and the logic and the terminals, we have a color system, whether it's for an AC motor or a DC motor. So the Phobos BTB40 is a 24 volt DC motor, but you'd have your 120 volt coming in here, and this transforms it down to 24 volts. BFT has something called D-track technology, and what that does is over the lifespan of a gate, sometimes they get rusty, things might change. The D-track technology internally in the firmware will adjust the torque settings to open and close the gate as you wish, which can eliminate tech calls in the future.
And also improve the longevity of the arm, because instead of just forcing every time, it would adjust to the gate.
Correct. And one thing I also want to add is not only do you have your limits, but within the board, you can manage it's called soft start, soft stop. So instead of the gate just slamming open, slamming shut, you can set how long you want it to slow down a little bit so it eases into the closed position or open position.
And it looks also nicer when it opens and it's finishing nice and smooth.
Correct.
All right, really cool. You said that I think what's pretty important is that once you learn the colors, you're done. You don't have to remember the numbers. The colors are the biggest thing. Once you learn the colors, you're good for all of the BFT products.
Yep, and the receiver is automatically integrated into the control board, and that can handle up to 64 transmitters or remotes.
Should be enough for a residential application.
Should be enough.
And then this is going to be the battery backup.
Yep, and then maybe another video to dive into the programming, but there's an LCD screen with 3 buttons. You have an up button, down button, and an OK button. Just by using those 3 buttons, you can configure your whole gate setup just through the logic menu.
Super easy. And that also is probably the reason why the board is so small compared to other operators that have a lot of buttons on it, but no screens.
Correct.